Hello, I'm Judy Stiles. Thank you for joining us this week on Newsmakers. Well, we hear a lot about economic development. We've had programs with the Chamber, with local state representatives. And today we're focusing a little closer to home at Missouri Southern State University with the Small Business and Technology Development Center. And joining me, Sherry Noller. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
On this next half hour or so, we'll share some information for viewers who may not be aware of the center, or maybe they just need to realize what the center involves. So I think it's something you've been on campus since 1987?
That is correct.
So a long history of serving the Joplin community, and
yes.
One of our students had an opportunity to visit with you, kind of get some background information. So I'd like to maybe start before we get into the conversation, let our viewers see. Ryan Land, one of our students at Missouri Southern, had a chance to visit with you, and let's run that package now, and then we'll follow up from there.
Owning a small business surrounded by large corporations can become a difficult task, but help is readily available thanks to a Missouri Southern organization.
The Small Business and Technology Development Center is a small business educational resource. So people who are interested in starting a business or those who already have an existing business can attend one of our training seminars, or they can come in and have some one-on-one consulting about their business.
Started in 1987, the program aims to provide financial assistance to any sized small for-profit business in an 8-county region in southwest Missouri.
Although every business is different, they do have similarities, whether it be they have questions about marketing and want to put together a marketing plan, or they're wanting to understand their financial statements better so that they can be making educated and informed business decisions using their financial statements.
And not only does the organization assist from starting anew, they also help with longtime business owners that are looking to improve the quality of their services.
We have businesses that are still in the idea phase of putting their business plan together and identifying what it is that they want to do to start a small business. And then we also do have folks who have come to us who have been in business, they've maybe been in business for a year, 5 years, 15 years, and are just learning about our program.
And for businesses that are facing the possibility of closing their doors, the organization will also help you out.
Sometimes the folks that we see, it's in the, oh no, something's happening and I need to be making decisions whether or not to keep my doors open or to shut my doors. And a lot of the businesses that we see, they're looking to grow. They have maybe been struggling with staying at a certain sales level, and they're trying to figure out a way to grow beyond that.
Any Missouri Southern student that is interested in starting a small business is encouraged to look into the program regardless of their major.
We have folks in the art department, music department, over in health science. They may be starting their own small business one day, or they may be working for a small business one day. So we think it's very important for students that are here on campus to get that training.
For more information on the Small Business and Technology Development Center, the organization is housed in the Robert W. Plaster Free Enterprise Center in room 107. Reporting in Joplin, this is Ryan Land for KGCS-TV.
Well, you can see a good introductory package kind of setting the scene for us today.
Yes.
We had a chance to visit with you. Some background information, 1987, 8 counties. Which geographically, what are we talking about as far as?
We're talking about from about Nevada down south to Arkansas border, just over to about Monette and up just a few more counties. So we really kind of cover Jasper, Newton, McDonald, Lawrence, Dade, Cedar, and Barton counties.
So this whole kind of southwest corner of the
yes,
state.
it's really a good chunk of the corner here.
Right. And of course, we're talking about the services here at Missouri Southern, but are you a part of a national organization that if somebody across the state line is watching us, they may have something similar across the line?
Yes, we're part of a program called America's SBDC. There are programs like ours in every state and territory of the U.S. So our program here at Missouri Southern is actually part of a statewide program as well. So we have just over 30 centers throughout the state of Missouri, and we have an opportunity to use that network to be able to provide services to our clients in the center, and also being able to meet the consultants and businesses across the United States during conferences and things gives us opportunities to even get some insight from others in other states and other experiences that they maybe have had that we can help our small businesses with.
So we hear a lot about networking among businesses, but networking among organizations really plays a role for you as well in tying
Yes,
things
it does.
together. And so you're here on the campus of Missouri Southern. People might be sometimes confused. Well, is it sponsored by Missouri Southern? Who pays the bills? You know, the financial support to make it available.
Well, we are partially funded by the SBA, so you know, taxpayer dollars at work. This is one of those services that your taxpayer dollars do assist with.
Okay.
And the university is our host institution and has partnered with us because they see the benefit as well of having that small business outreach program here on campus. So it's a combination of SBA federal funding and also the university helping.
And 1987's been a while. I imagine you've seen a lot of growth over those years and changes.
There have been a lot of changes. We have two of our business consultants who have been with the center for over 20 years, and they have seen a lot happen. Again, businesses tend to sometimes have similar type issues regardless of what technology we have available to us, but the business landscape has definitely changed here in Southwest Missouri, and with one of the biggest proponents, at least to that I have been a part of with the office, was the May 2011 tornado.
That, of course, affected so many businesses, large and small, in Joplin. And you played a key role in the recovery efforts afterwards, just helping businesses who suffered losses.
Yes, our current director, Lisa Robinson, and our business consultant, Karen Bradshaw, were down at the Business Recovery Center with the SBA representatives in town, helping those small businesses fill out paperwork, helping them kind of pick up some of the pieces. Myself and a couple of other staff members were actually brought on post-tornado to be able to assist with the amount of business resources that we were kind of expecting businesses would need from us. Because with over 500 businesses damaged or destroyed in that event, there were a lot of people out there who were looking for the different resources and different avenues for help, and we were one of those resources.
And a lot of people were just, where do I go next? And I've lost something, and now how do I pick up the pieces?
Exactly. And one of the things that I didn't expect to see when I joined the office was we were seeing folks that were impacted by the tornado in multiple different ways, but they were coming to us about a year and a half, 2 years post-tornado, telling us that they were now just starting to have some complications because we had some folks who had services that were in need right after the tornado. Right. And so they were very, very busy, and they had a lot going on, and their normal business it escalated compared to what they were used to. But then about 2 years after the tornado, it was starting to get back to
things started calming down.
A normal, yes. And after, you know, kind of being so busy for 2 years, it was a little difficult to understand, oh wait, that's not going to be my new normal. It will go back to normal. And we had some businesses that made decisions not to expand or not to bring on additional employees or to not make significant business choices because they saw that their business would go back to what their normal was.
The pre-tornado
normal. And so they held themselves back from making some decisions that could have been very costly for them.
Right. Now, when you had a situation like that, did you have a lot of resources from around the country to help you? You know, Joplin, so many people from around the country came in to help Joplin. Did organizations and other SBDC organizations come in and give you some resources and support too?
The SBA definitely came in, especially, you know, there for the few months after the tornado. They were a big help, and we did have other SBDCs from other disaster areas who reached out. But a lot of it was still kind of figuring out, okay, what's going to work for us in our area. So the resources that our office was given, we took those, tried to see what we thought would be best for implementation, and then we just kept pivoting. We just kept adjusting and seeing, okay, this is not working anymore, but it's a great resource and people want it, so we need to change it or we need to do something different. So it was a great time for growth in a program that had been here for almost 25 years, giving us the opportunity to take a look at what we had been doing and how we had been assisting small businesses and making sure that we were being relevant to them at all times and making sure that if something were to have happened, we'd be able to continue helping them. So we put a lot of efficiencies in place to be able to keep
your
us going.
operations as well.
It did. It did immensely.
Now, do you look back now at some of the businesses you were working with, say post-tornado now, and say the success stories, being able to say that John Doe's business now, we were part of their success where they're at today?
What we try to do actually in the office is we are an educational resource for the small businesses, so the successes that they have are really their own. We are just happy that if they needed the resources, if they needed the assistance, that they knew that they could come to us. So we are very proud of the business owners that have come in, and those, you see them growing, you see them changing, you see them going through tough times, but coming out on the other end, succeeding or doing very well for themselves. And it's kind of a proud parent moment a little bit, and it's just so exciting to see them become stronger entrepreneurs and business owners and making decisions for their business that are helping themselves and helping their employees.
You mentioned the word helping. Is that one of the biggest hurdles that people have to get over, is to ask for help? That's human nature. I can do it on my own. But even for a business perspective, somebody to step forward and say, maybe I need some help.
Yes, and a lot of times people go into business because they know what they do so well. If someone's in a service business, they can maybe fix air conditioning units. They're a great car mechanic, and so they want to open a business. Right. But there's so much more that goes into being a business owner than just being able to do your craft well, or knowing a lot about a particular product. And so They definitely have a lot to learn, and a lot of folks do a great job around here with all of our chambers of commerce that are very active, of reaching out to them if they have questions, reaching out to fellow business owners. But sometimes it's a pride issue too. They don't want to reach out because they want to. They seem like they should have it all together.
I'm going to do it on my own.
Yes, and and sometimes they don't know who to ask. So, but having very active chambers of commerce in our area has been very helpful. We have had a strong relationship with all of our chambers because they serve the business community, and we're here to serve the businesses. And so we partner with them on a lot of different activities and training events.
It's really a teamwork type event for
Yes.
you. Well, and looking at the story we had, beginning to mention some of the services and counseling services. Just for someone to be able to walk in, meet one-to-one with your staff members and say, here's what I have, and then you work with them and provide them those opportunities for resources.
Yes, and we have some great databases available to us that not everyone realizes. We can pull traffic count information if someone's looking at relocating their business to the Joplin area or to Southwest Missouri, or if they're looking at leasing a building in a certain area. And we can help with pulling traffic counts. We have great information to plug businesses' financial statements and information into to help them grow and to help them plan and project for their future growth. We also have opportunities to give people an insight into the type of demographic that we have in this area. So, we may say around here we have a lot of blue collar workers, or we have a lot of this or that type
of group
of
working
people.
Staff, right?
Yes, working, and we can actually pull specific information that can give them details on different segments. If their demographic is an older generation, well, we can pull information and say, okay, this is where they're living, or this is their needs. These are their needs. This is what they're looking for. If you're looking for a product or service targeted towards a family, okay, well, these are the types of groups that we have in the area. So that way they're sending the right message to their customers or potential customers. They're putting themselves in the right spot to be seen by those customers. And again, they're making well-educated decisions for their business.
So really preparation before you even open that business plays a big role. The entrepreneur somebody comes up with an idea, business owner saying, I have an idea, before you say, I'm going to start doing it. Do your homework sounds like is key too.
Yes, doing your homework is really important. We see that some business owners have changed their minds. They've done some research into a certain demographic or a certain product or service area and found we might not have a great need for that in this area, or they have maybe found another avenue, another way to offer a product or service to a group of people that they hadn't thought of before until they had done some research.
So you're able to help them with that research and that counseling. Now, the new businesses as well as existing business, somebody already has well, maybe I want to expand, or am I doing the right thing?
Yes.
Questions like that come up.
Yes, and actually the SBTDC, a lot of times people look at us as the place to go if you're looking to start up a small business. And that is definitely the case. We are here. We want strong, successful businesses. We want our community and area to grow. We want to have great paying jobs. We want to have a lot of those amenities that everyone's talking about. And we're really interested in having that too. But we are actually here to help existing businesses as well. So if an existing business has questions, has some ideas about something they want to do in their business, we are here to assist, to listen, we're kind of that third party that has no financial gain or loss in your business, and so we can provide for you the pros and the cons. And
you can still make your own decision.
You can still make your own decision. We're not going to tell you what to do, but you can definitely take that information and see how it can maybe help you make a better educated business decision.
Right. Now you also have training programs. I know we have a training and development brochure that I've downloaded from your website and something that you've mailed out, but training, kind of continuing education as well, being an aspect for businesses.
Yes. One of the areas that we can really help small business owners is bringing them together in a training type environment where they get to also interact with other small business owners or others from businesses. So we have some of our regular classes, like starting a small business, the first steps, how to write a successful business plan. We have a financial series to help people understand their financial statements, go through cash flow, analyzing and predicting cash needs, a lot of different things, so that we can, again, strengthen that small business owner. And being involved in a training can give them the opportunity to also meet other business owners for networking opportunities, and to also maybe find some mentors or find some folks that they maybe wouldn't have met otherwise, and they can, if they have a question, who knows, they might become some type of business partner. We have had that happen, actually. Folks have shown up for a training event and they got to talking about, oh, well, this is the product that we make, or this is the service that I offer, and we have seen business cards exchanged, and oh, well, I can serve that need, or I can help you there. Yes, it's like, oh, I've been looking for somebody that does that. Here, let's talk afterwards. So, it's a great opportunity for networking as well as learning.
So the different types of training, I'm looking through here, like I say, you have a lot of things. Of course, financial management, you mentioned finances, financial support or assistance. We're not talking about you're handing out money, but you're teaching them, giving them the information on, even the financial side of paying the bills and keeping the books and dealing with taxes and so forth.
Yes, and a lot of times people, the money side of things, the bookkeeping side of things, that's one of those things that people don't think about when they go into business all the time. And so being able to address that and put it into terminology and use business related topics and examples that people understand because they see it in their business is very, very helpful and beneficial. And we can follow up with that financial management training with the one-on-one consulting afterwards. So that way we can take a deeper look into that particular company's financials instead of them having to share with a large group.
Right. They have their own personal attention
yes,
that way and keep it quiet. Computers playing such a big role. I know a few years ago, I don't know how many years you added the word technology to your titles. It used to be just Small Business and Development Center. Now you have technology. And technology, computers, business owners have to know how to deal with those computers.
They do. We offer a couple computer classes. We offer some Excel training. A lot of businesses try to use Excel for, of course, reports and graphing. Some try to use it also for managing their employees, clock in and clock out times, inventory management. We also do teach an Introduction to QuickBooks class. QuickBooks is commonly used in this area for accounting for small business, and so we have an introductory class that really gives them the basics on how to set it up and how to manage some common things. And then again, our business consultant who teaches that class schedules appointments afterwards to go out and help answer specific questions for those business owners.
You see business owners sometimes that, like you say, they really are enthusiastic about what they're doing, their service or the product they're making, but when it comes time to say, I've got to sit down and figure payroll, those things get to be discouraging for people.
Yes. And, we try to take the fear out of it and again, just educate them. We don't do for the small business owner, so the QuickBooks, we're not going in there and doing the QuickBooks for them. We're not writing a business plan for them, because again, we want them to be strong entrepreneurs. And we've had a lot of people say, wow, I learned a lot about my business, or I learned a lot about what I really want to do by putting it down on paper. And there's a small business that I assisted with while our director was out of town. She's our QuickBooks queen, and I went in there and helped him, for a couple of weeks, because run his payroll, and came to a point after about 2 or 3 weeks, he did it on his own. Would call if he had a question, and now he's doing it on his own. And as I say, I think we've heard from him once, and it was just a, hey, how's it going? I'm doing well. Just wanted to let you know. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
So sometimes in small business you think, well, I'm just going to do it by hand, but you have these services and things where people can run it through the computer and save a lot of time and a lot of effort.
Yes, and they really do. Small businesses do have a lot of tools available to them. Some that they do have to pay for, but then there are some free tools as well that they can use technology to be able to help them work more efficiently and work smarter, not harder.
Great. Well, I know I'm looking through here, I noticed that you also have programs that tie with like veterans or dealing with government contracts, things that we hear more and more about in the working world, that there's opportunities if you're a small company to work with government contracts.
Yes, there are. And that specific training, we actually work with the Missouri PTAC program, which is the Missouri Procurement and Technical Assistance Center. So we have a representative in the Springfield area who's coming over and doing that training for us, and he's available to meet with our small businesses one-on-one. So that's we're partner programs, but because of all the intricacies that go into government contracting, we have a specific resource for businesses.
The expert on that topic.
Oh yes, definitely,
Right.
definitely.
And when it comes to veterans, a lot of veteran-owned businesses, I notice as well that you have programs that show them some opportunities they may not have been aware of.
Yeah, we try to do different programs targeted towards veterans, women, and minorities, so that they know that the opportunities are available. And sometimes, for veterans, they have this camaraderie. Whatever age they are, however many tours they've done, they definitely have a camaraderie. So getting some of those folks together, those who already have a business and those that are maybe interested in opening up a business, so that we can connect those people and make sure that they have a resource or contact to go to. We can share the stories of what it's like to start a small business, or what it's like to go through some of the different hurdles of opening a small business. And again, they kind of have that camaraderie, so it gives them the opportunity to kind of open up and talk about some of those things that in other scenarios it maybe take 2 or 3 conversations to kind of get to that point where you feel comfortable doing that with somebody.
So sharing and networking along those lines as well. Now the program you have, in the beginning of the program we had the story talked about students, and of course we're on the campus of Missouri Southern, and I know I'm teaching some classes, sometimes students say, well, my dream is to graduate and have my own business.
Yes.
So you have programs that help those students maybe reach those dreams or realize the steps that it takes to reach those dreams.
Yes, so the services that are available to those out in our community are available to our students as well. And as a resource and an opportunity for the students here on campus, we actually do offer 2 of our kind of what we consider basic or kind of beginner workshops or trainings for free to all Missouri Southern students.
Okay.
So our Starting a Small Business, the First Steps class, and our How to Write a Successful Business Plan class, we offer to students at no cost. We just ask that they reach out to us. They can do that via a phone call, sending us an email, or stopping by our office to sign up for one of those classes. And we think that it's very important. We're here at an educational institution for a reason. Like I've said before, we want to educate our small business owners to be strong entrepreneurs, and we'd like to see everybody be successful. And for students taking the opportunity while they're still in school, they may not have the pressures of having a full-time job yet, or having to kind of be on that career path.
Right.
They can take the opportunity now to learn about what it takes to start a small business in Missouri, what it takes to start planning, put some ideas on paper, and put together a business plan. And they might not be ready to start that business while they're in college, but maybe they can get some pieces put together, and 2 years out of college, 10 years down the road, they've actually already had some framework started that they can move forward with. And the one-on-one consulting, if they're looking to start a small business, is still available to them. For the students as well. We are here to assist any and all that are interested in starting a small business, or those that already have an existing for-profit business.
Of course, you have a website where people can come, and then we have the website up on the screen right now, kind of showing you all these things we're talking about. They just need to go to your website, and you can find a lot of the information, the schedule. You have a lot of upcoming events all the time, and we're not going to give any specific dates today, but this is the fall-winter schedule. I know you have things literally going all season long.
We do. We have things right now. Our book goes out until early February, but we will be updating our calendar for the springtime as we begin planning dates. So I recommend that people bookmark the MSSUtraining.com website or the calendar of events page and just go back there from time to time. They can also sign up for our e-newsletter. Okay. Every month we send out an e-newsletter letting them know about the upcoming trainings that are happening that month and any other particular topics or things that might be happening in the small business world or entrepreneur world that they might want to know about.
Right. Now, one thing we haven't mentioned, costs for some of these programs. I mean,
yes, there are some small fees. Some of our events are at no cost.
Right.
Our kind of some of our basic classes are about $29 to $39 per person. Our computer classes are $124 per person. And then we try to offer different events and different trainings. We try to bring people in from outside of the area that might be experts in a certain area. And so usually the fees there are to cover expenses that are associated with that. So,
right. And all that information then is in the brochure or online that we've been
sure
talking about for them. But as far as somebody, say, walking in off the street, using that term, you know, you would welcome people to walk in and just say, I need some help, or I have some questions, you know, the walk-in business.
Yeah, we do. A lot of times, you know, being out here on the university campus, it's a little tough for people to sometimes find our office or know exactly where to go. So in, you know, respect for their time, you know, we just say, hey, go ahead, give us a call, pick up the phone. We can answer some questions for you over the phone sometimes, and are more than happy to set up a one-on-one appointment or help you get into one of those classes that we have coming up if that might be a better fit for you. Or they can always send us an email. There's a contact form on our website that they can fill out. We get a lot of requests or inquiries that way. They can just email us directly at our website. Our statewide network has a website, MissouriBusiness.net, that has some other resources as well, and they can still get to us that way. They can look up Joplin and find us and send us an inquiry or just get our contact information.
Right. And for someone who may be watching, they're not on the Missouri side of the state line, but they can just check and see what's offered in their community. Similar programs, like you said at the beginning.
Every state, like I said, has a small business development center. I would recommend if they're not in Missouri, search Small Business Development Center. Okay. They can go ahead and keep the T out. Not every state has the technology designation, but they can definitely find a resource near them. And we're also willing to help if someone is moving to another community, if they're moving outside of the state to start a small business or for other reasons. We're always willing to help however we can. We can just quickly go online and do a quick Google search and give
There's
them
something in that town you're moving to.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, or something nearby. You know, we try to help out wherever we can. We really try to be a resource, even if we don't have the exact answer or we don't know everything pertaining to their certain question. We help as much as we can, and if we can't, then we try to find the best resource for them.
And that's a key to success. Is, you know, I may not have the answer, but I can tell you who does.
Yes.
Tying that about. Well, Sherry, I'd like to thank you very much for visiting today, sharing some information for our viewers.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for joining us this week for Newsmakers. I'm Judy Stiles. Hope you can join me again next week on this station. We'll see you then.